Welcome to Best Picture Brain Rot, a podcast where three friends count down to the 100th Oscars by watching every Best Picture winner in order.
Follow along as we give ourselves cinematic brain damage, from the first winner, Wings, to whatever the Academy picks in 2028.
There are 94 weeks until the 100th Oscars, and today we are going to talk about It Happened One Night. Surprises, disappointments, hot takes, and plenty of brain rot.
We are your hosts, Adam,
Sarah,
and Drew.
Our 7th Academy Award winner for Best Picture is It Happened One Night, Frank Capra's one of the early original romantic comedies, and a really fun winner, I would say, releasing in 1934. This is a movie about an heiress, a spoiled heiress, who escapes her father to run from Florida to New York to see her fiancé, where she falls in with a roguish reporter, played by Clark Gable. They travel together and their relationship develops in a very romantic comedy type way, but more on the plot later. Sarah, I know you're a huge fan of romantic comedies, so I will hand it over to you because I know you're itching to talk about this one.
I am itching so bad. I have
Get the calamine.
I've got rom-com scabies.
Rom-com-aria. He's trying to give it to everyone listening.
Rom-com-aria. Rom-comphilis. No. I tried
Mine
like
was
with
better.
syphilis. Rom-comphilis.
No.
Okay, yes. My favorite rom-com is When Harry Met Sally. I almost think that movie is too good to be a traditional rom-com, but my favorite like rom-commy is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I love that movie. What are your guys' favorite rom-coms?
I would say this is also kind of in the same vein. Like La La Land, I would say, is one of my favorites, but kind of transcends the idea of being a romantic comedy in a way, a more traditional one. Well, I also like 500 Days of Summer, which is like an anti-romantic comedy. More traditional, I know I have You've Got Mail as a 4.5 on my Letterboxd.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, Drew's being
Don't
a
hater.
At it.
Don't laugh at Adam. That movie's amazing.
I didn't expect it. I'm not judging.
You just laughed in Adam's face.
It was a bit of a curveball. I'm not going to lie.
Let me guess, your favorite rom-com is Spring Breakers?
No. I've got two that I've actually seen recently that I really, really liked. First is the Bogdanovich movie, What's Up, Doc? Have either of you seen it?
You mentioned it when we talked about Grand Hotel, and I was very intrigued, but I haven't looked into it.
Well, I'll double
yet.
shout it out. It's a very fun screwball, sort of like really emphasis on the calm part of the rom-com, where it's just like rapid fire kind of funny and lots of like physical gags. And, Barbra Streisand is like very Manic Pixie Dream Girl, but it's still funny nonetheless. The other one that I really want to shout out, I don't know if either of you have seen it, is Sliding Doors.
I have not even heard of that.
Are you familiar with it?
No.
It's very underrated, I will say. I saw it recently. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay.
And it's basically...
Who directed it?
Beats me. It's some British guy.
It's not like I was worried you were gonna like shout out Woody Allen or something.
No.
Because Sliding Doors does sound like it could be a Woody Allen.
Sliding Doors, very underrated. If you have not seen it, it's just a fun concept where it's like she misses the sliding door for her tube. She's doing a British accent the whole time, which is kind of funny. Anyway, she misses the door for her train. And then at that point, the movie splits into two different realities. One where she makes it home and catches her boyfriend cheating on her, and one where she doesn't and she continues to live her life with her boyfriend. And
I like that a lot.
The two plots are sort of like interweaving throughout the time, and you see how her life both seems like destined to go in a certain direction, but also like would veer in other ways. It's very like
I like
kitschy, but I think they pull
high
off.
concept kind of thing like that.
It's super, and like honestly, by the end, they're just like really having fun with it. I highly recommend it.
I think Sarah likes rom-coms less hearing us talk about it.
I actually think it kind of made me die a little bit inside.
It's fun. I think you would like it.
But rom-coms have a very storied past, as we are now seeing, with the winner being It Happened One Night. But I'm sure the idea of the romantic comedy goes far beyond 1934. Sarah, do you like to share a little bit of history?
It goes so far back, Adam. You have no idea. Okay, let me get into it. Romantic comedies did not start in Hollywood. I know we like to think everything starts here. It doesn't. They started with Shakespeare, who sort of honed the idea that love is funnier when it is messy, specifically on stage and for other people's entertainment. Silent films like 1924's Girl Shy gave the genre its structure, but it wasn't until the 1930s when censorship forced filmmakers to replace sex with wit that rom-coms really found their voice. This movie specifically, It Happened One Night, is the moment everything kind of locks in for rom-coms. The banter, the tension, the structure, and then after that, the rom-com isn't just a type of story, it's sort of just a blueprint for an entire genre itself. So before It Happened One Night, rom-coms, where they come from, long before film, it was already fully formed on stage. Ancient Greek comedies and later European theatrical traditions built the basic DNA. Love stories driven by misunderstanding, disguise, social pressure, and ultimately, reconciliation. Aww. Then comes William Shakespeare, who basically writes the blueprint, as I was saying. Plays like Much Ado About Nothing and A Midsummer Night's Dream.
I've been in both of those.
I've been in Midsummer Night's Dream. That was my first play. I was Titania, the fairy queen.
Oh, I was like Puck.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And in Midsummer, or in Much Ado, rather, I was Dogberry. And I played him blind, which I maybe shouldn't admit. Like,
Was that a choice you made?
yeah.
It's not in the text.
No. What? Like, wouldn't it be funny if
like,
he was blind?
when I was in
Very late 2000s idea.
What the hell?
when I was in The Diary of Anne Frank, I played Mr. Dussel, who's the dentist that moves in with the two families. And during my audition, I chose to speak with a lisp, and then for the callback, I did it without. And the director said, "No, do what you did before." And so then the whole time I had to do this, The Diary of Anne Frank, with like a Daffy Duck lisp.
God. And yeah, so this is why we were all canceled and we had to turn to making our own podcasts.
Well, I wasn't canceled, but I'll carry us through to the end. So, as I was saying, plays like Much Ado About Nothing and A Midsummer Night's Dream introduce enemies to lover dynamics, rapid fire banter, mistaken identities, and then the idea that love is both irrational and inevitable. Aww. That mix, the romance, the conflict, humor, resolution is still very much that same rom-com formula that we see today. So by the early 1900s, cinema starts borrowing these ideas. Even in the silent era, filmmakers understood that love stories played better with humor than pure melodrama. One of the earliest examples is All for a Girl from 1912, but the standout is the movie I mentioned earlier, which is Girl Shy from 1924. Hugely influential silent comedy that helped define the genre. It's often credited with popularizing the now iconic race to the wedding ending, basically the prototype for like every last minute airport sprint or like, wait, don't marry him scene that comes later.
Fun.
Yeah. So silent era rom-coms, they leaned very heavily on physical comedy. So like chases, pratfalls, disguises. I keep bringing up disguises. That's like such a...
I mean, yeah, with the Shakespeare thing, it's very rich
common.
culture of it.
Bring back disguises in rom-coms.
Yeah.
And then class differences and social obstacles. So even before sound, the genre already had a structure. It just hadn't found its voice. But then the 1930s came and there was a shift, and rom-com suddenly got a lot smarter. So there was two big forces that reshaped the genre in the early 1930s. First is the Great Depression. Audiences wanted escapism, but they didn't want fantasy totally. They wanted stories where love could cross class lines and survive real-world struggles. And then, of course, the Hays Code. So Hollywood suddenly, they couldn't show explicit sexuality. So instead of physical romance, filmmakers had to lean into more witty dialogue, double entendres, and like battle of the sexes tension, which is where It Happened One Night comes in. It's kind of the turning point for rom-coms. Everything kind of clicks into place. It established the key truth of a rom-com, which is that chemistry is funnier and hotter when it's combative.
Just like real life.
Just like real life. Okay. So yeah. And what makes it foundational? The meet cute, the road dynamic, a runaway heiress, a cynical reporter, they're forced to travel together, opposites attract, The romance is built through arguments and banter, sexual tension without explicit sex, class commentary woven into romance, wealth versus working class. We'll get into it. And then basically how it shaped every rom-com after, I'm not going to get too much into it because we kind of know what happens, but It Happened One Night became a formula that Hollywood kept repeating.
You've given us the ingredients. Let's see the cake.
Is it cake? You can trace almost every rom-com trope back to It Happened One Night. Forced proximity. Opposites who initially dislike each other. Romance revealed through conversations, not these like massive grand gestures, which rom-coms eventually started to lead into grand gestures. But yeah, basically every time two people bicker their way into love, you're basically watching a version of It Happened One Night.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Great.
That's a history.
Keep going, Sarah. Tell us about the cast and the crew.
All right. I'm getting into the crew first. Director Frank Capra.
The iconic.
The iconic, apparently, I didn't know who he was until I watched this movie.
Have you never seen It's a Wonderful Life?
No.
Oh. Well, it's a very good movie.
I've never seen it either.
So Frank Capra had a classic immigrant story of the 1930s. From Italy, immigrated to America as a kid. Here are the jobs that he had before becoming a filmmaker. Newspaper seller, janitor, brothel musician in LA's red lights district, campus laundry worker, army supply officer, ditch digger, errand boy, orange tree pruner, film extra, prop buyer, live-in tuner, bookseller, door-to-door salesman, gambler, short film hustler, basically making cheap films himself, lab assistant at a film studio, cutter editor, and then a gag writer. And then eventually he works his way up to director at Columbia Pictures and becomes one of the biggest directors of the 1930s and one of the most iconic directors in the United States in general.
Good for him.
Started from the bottom, now
He was in the trenches. He was a ditch digger.
He made his way out of the trenches.
He made his way out of the trenches, yeah.
To being a gag writer, which is arguably worse than being a ditch digger.
Gag writer is just the old version of I'm a content creator. I make reels. That's what that is.
Frank Capra was in the Hype House.
Yeah.
He made his way out of the Hype House.
Oh no. So this is a word that I found. He defined the Capra-esque style.
I've not heard of that. But, I mean, it makes sense. He's got an aesthetic.
Yeah, like optimistic, emotional, good versus corrupt systems. This is what I found from research.
He was big into the power of a community coming together.
Yeah.
So, you see that in It's a Wonderful Life. One of his earlier movies, the one that was up for Best Picture last year, the one about the apple seller. It was a Capra. And that was kind of about a community coming together to support this woman. Funny enough, this one doesn't quite have that same aesthetic, but it is very optimistic, I would say. So it keeps parts of that ethos, but it's less about community in the way that some of his other movies were. But you can see the Capra DNA, the Capra-esque.
The Capra-esque
DNA, as we are
Apparently,
saying.
People called him Capra-corn because they thought his movies were corny.
Funny.
I'm sure he was laughing all the way to the bank with his multiple
No,
Oscars.
seriously. 3 Best Director Oscars.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. So yeah, he's basically, an Italian immigrant, worked every random job possible, failed a bunch, then became the defining director of feel-good American movies. He also somehow celebrated the little guy, but he also secretly worked with the FBI.
Oh, wait. What was he? Wait, okay. Okay, wait. Was he selling people out as communists?
Yes.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course he was.
Yep. All right, Kazan.
Yep. He was
Found
an
your
informant.
buddy.
He was an informant during the Red Scare.
Nice.
Drew is pro
A red-blooded patriot, as I'd call him.
He did go back into the army in World War II and made the Why We Fight propaganda films as well.
Oh, like the racist ones?
Yeah, the ones with buck-toothed Japanese people.
Yeah, that's
Probably.
a thing.
With Donald Duck fighting the Japanese Imperial Army.
For war
Propaganda. Capraganda.
Capra-ganda. Well, I'm a victim to Capra-ganda. This movie rocks.
Is there more on Frank Capra?
Nope. That's kind of it. And then briefly, there's the writer for this film, Robert Riskin. eventually parted ways with Frank Capra because he resented Frank for taking the majority of the credit for Robert's successful contributions to Frank's work.
Let me guess. Then Robert got labeled a communist and thrown in jail.
I don't know what happened to him.
Oopsies.
Oopsies. Okay, I'm going to get into the cast now, unless you guys have any other fun facts about Frank.
Nope.
I'm going to do 2 cast members because there's 2 main cast members
Yeah,
here.
I don't care about anyone
You don't
else
care about
in this
anybody else?
movie.
I don't care about anybody else.
Tell me more about the bus driver.
Well, I mean, the guy who picks them up while hitchhiking is pretty great.
He's pretty great, yeah. The dad was lovely, too.
I loved the dad.
I love the dad.
I have more on the dad later. But
Okay. We're going to start off with Claudette Colbert. For people in France, Claudette Colbert.
she was French.
She was
I did not
French.
realize that until I was like looking her up before this.
I would like to say that I have a woman crush on this lady now. I found her performance to be so spectacular. Claudette Colbert was a very famous actress. Born in Paris, raised in New York, she built her career with precision, self-branding, and just control over her overall image and how she was perceived, becoming one of the highest paid actresses in Hollywood by the late 1930s. She was known for playing smart, self-possessed women who could handle just about anything, especially in screwball comedies. Her defining quality wasn't just her beauty. She was a very technical actress. She had control of timing, tone, how she was seen on screen. She could be glamorous, but she was always grounded, worldly, witty, without ever losing her warmth. But in real life, she was described as a mix of a sailor and a duchess. Elegant, but swore constantly.
My kind of woman.
Oh, my kind of woman, too.
Not Drew's kind of woman.
Not my type.
Her breakout came with It Happened One Night, where her performance as a runaway heiress basically set the template for rom-com heroines. Sharp, independent, and funnier than the men. But she wasn't just a rom-com star. She engineered the modern leading lady. Controlled, clever, always one step ahead, both on screen and in real life. Other key films are Cleopatra, Private Worlds, and Since You Went Away.
Two of those were nominated for Best Picture the same year. She was the lead in 3 Best Picture
Shut
nominees.
up, are you serious?
Yeah, in this Oscar
Yeah,
ceremony.
is it this Cleopatra?
Yeah.
God, I love her so much. But yeah, she was known as an actress. She was known for elite comedic timing, a woman who's super adaptable, always wins, blending intelligence, charm, control. She's an extremely technical actress, like I was saying. She was obsessed with lighting, angles, camera, awareness. She wasn't a chaotic, raw actor. She was very precise. So every performance looked effortless because she was very calculated in her preparation for it.
So like if she was around today, she would have started her own production company.
Oh, 100%.
So she's like Emma Stone of the 30s.
100% I agree with this. So basically she was a control freak. Type A women, we rise. She refused to be filmed on her right side. Sets were literally rebuilt sometimes around her good side and insisted on leaving set at 5 p.m. sharp. I don't blame her for any of that.
Okay, well, amen to that.
Exactly. She hated Frank Capra. Despite starring in his biggest hit, this film, he was reportedly the one director she really disliked.
Why? Because he was Sicilian.
Yeah,
Just a little.
She was
too
racist.
Yeah, yep. This is where we find out her skeletons.
Okay, well, I didn't.
And
think
she
they-
was
She
then
doesn't like his Moorish tones.
famous communist Claudette Colbert.
Oh no. Now let's get into the affair rumors.
Oh.
She claimed that she went all the way with Clark Gable during It Happened One Night.
Nice.
She say that in People magazine?
So,
She just said it randomly, and everyone's like, I guess that means you hooked up with him? And she never elaborated on it.
yeah.
Elite
They're
troll.
pulling the old anyone but you marketing
Yeah.
marketing strategy.
Marriage drama. Colbert secretly married actor Norman Foster in 1928, but they never lived together, largely because she stayed with her domineering mother who disapproved of the relationship, and at one point Norman reportedly had to apply for a date with his own wife, scheduling a time to see her. They divorced in 1935 and then here remarried almost immediately. In the late 50s, Colbert became intensely close with a wealthy woman named Verna Hull. They were like codependent, inseparable. They were traveling together, living near each other, basically merging lives, and people immediately started talking. And then there were these rumors that they were like having an affair together and that their relationship was romantic, which completely shocked Claudette Colbert. And so she was reportedly like so furious and then was super blindsided by the gossip. And so the friendship turned completely volatile. And they eventually had a very dramatic falling out where Hull sent Colbert a bizarre warning that her dying husband might come to harm Colbert. And Colbert was so offended that she stormed over, cut Hull off completely, returned every gift, and then never spoke to her again. And the fallout was so intense that it divided their Barbados neighborhood. People described it like a social Cold War.
Their what?
The Barbados neighborhood.
They lived in Barbados.
Ah.
And because of how explosive the breakup was, the rumors only got louder.
Those Barbados rumors. Well, that's where they send all the communists.
Yeah.
She sounds crazy closeted, is what it sounds like.
Closet.
Closet
Colbert.
There
Closet
you go.
Colbert. Nice. So yeah, she passed away in Barbados, and her remains were transported to New York City, where she was cremated, and a memorial service was held. Her ashes were interred at Goddings Bay Church Cemetery in Speightstown, St. Peter, Barbados, beside her mother and her second husband.
No. Good for her.
Hit us with some Gable.
Okay. Clark Gable as Peter Warne. Clark Gable was referred to as the King of Hollywood. So he was a big deal. He basically defined 1930s masculinity. Equal parts charm, menace, and sex appeal. He had this, shall I say, effortless smirk. Rugged masculinity, and that kind of like, I don't care about you, but you care about me.
And a slutty little
And a
mustache.
slutty mustache.
Long eyelashes, too. Like, cannot ignore those eyelashes. That was the first thing I noticed.
So Sarah's got a woman crush. Drew's got a man crush.
People on Letterboxd today would be like, bye panic, or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, massive movie star. Born in Ohio, he had a very rough working class upbringing, dropped out of high school, worked factory jobs, oil fields, odd gigs before clawing his way into acting. He didn't look like the traditional leading man at first. Studios saw him, and they also said that his ears were too big. But
Kind of had big ears,
did-
not gonna lie.
he-
What?
He kind of had
I
big
did not
ears.
notice that, but all right.
I
I'll
noticed.
take another look.
But once he hit,
He hit.
My aunt. I texted my aunt that I watched this movie, and she goes, Clark Gable is high octane slap ya mama hot. Fire emoji. This was on Easter Sunday. And then I said LMAO, and she said yummy with a tongue out emoji.
All right, I'm looking. His ears are a little big.
Well, the better to grab on it.
Yeah, something like the reins of a horse.
Slap your mama, am I right?
Slap ya high octane. Slap your mama hot. Never heard that before in my life.
My Italian barber used to always say, because I would always ask for, like, not to get it cut too short. He would always be like, oh, yes, a little lane for the ladies to grab on.
Oh.
I was a child.
Oh.
He was Italian.
That's not an excuse.
It is.
It's not. Okay, what he was known for as an actor. The ultimate masculine leading man, confident, teasing, a little dangerous. Played guys who felt natural, not polished. He had that like working class swag. He was just an absolute machine of chemistry, this guy, especially with strong female co-stars. He just matched them completely. And yeah, he brought a kind of sexual tension that just felt very real and not theatrical. He wasn't refined like Claudette was. He was just very instinctual. And that's what made him feel very modern for the time. All right, let me share some tea. So he was basically Hollywood's original menace heartthrob. He was known for being a heavy drinker, a womanizer, and manipulator. And somehow it only made him more appealing.
As it does.
As it does.
Nice.
He slept with basically everyone. He had affairs with multiple co-stars, including Joan Crawford. Their relationship was so intense that the studio had to step in. He also had a secret child scandal. He had an affair.
Did Pusha T? Did he unveil it?
You are hiding a child.
Pusha T. No, Pusha T wishes he was Clark Gable.
No, it sounds like Clark Gable's Drake.
Yeah. Clark Gable's the Drake.
In this
Is
metaphor.
he
Or-
Clark
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, he is.
Yeah, so wait, who was Pusha T in 1930s?
Herman Schmidt.
Yeah.
Look at me name dropping old actors.
You know, Charlie Chaplin could hit a mean yuck.
Okay, where was I? Okay, secret child scandal. Clark Gable had an affair with Loretta Young. She got pregnant, hid the child, publicly claimed adoption, and then he barely had a relationship with a daughter. Also, gay Hollywood rumor, silent film star William Haynes allegedly told people he had a sexual encounter with Gable in the 1920s.
So there was a bi panic in this movie.
Yes.
This movie was the bi panic. Letterboxd was right.
Exactly. Well, my version of Letterboxd was right.
True.
Okay, tragic love story. He was married to Carol Lombard, who he considered the love of his life. Then she died in a plane crash. He completely spiraled. He started heavily drinking, joined World War II Air Force, and then flew combat missions.
Oh, wow.
So in modern times, that'd be like going to the gym and like fighting your demons or something. So yeah, overall, Clark Gable was the original toxic but irresistible leading man. Messy off-screen, magnetic on-screen, and it was just a perfect cocktail for a movie star at the time.
Slap
We
your
don't have
mama.
we don't have
Slap your
enough of those
mama.
these days, if you ask me.
True.
And that's a wrap on cast and crew.
So as far as production, I don't have a ton to add. As you said, this is a big success for Columbia at the time. It was one of their most financially successful movies until around the 80s, which is very surprising. That did not come without on-set drama. Apparently, everyone kind of thought this movie was going to be a big stinker.
It's funny.
You know, and I think, you know...
I just love the word stinker.
Yeah. Colbert didn't like Capra. I think she told a friend, I believe it was, he was like, this is one of the worst pictures I've ever made. Which is so funny, like watching this movie again in context. But the initial reviews for this were somewhat, a little more mixed than you would think. And I think Capra took it to heart. A lot of the more highbrow critics were a little more tough on it. It wasn't until it left LA, it went to the second movie houses out into, you know, real America, as we say, that it really hit its stride. People found the simplicity of the love story to be really engaging, and that's where it found a lot of popularity, it gained a lot of momentum, and that kind of led to the success that it found today. So, you know, Capra-corns was a late bloomer. But, as we've kind of alluded to, this movie is very, very good. It is very fun rom-com. It's excellently placed. The plot is really engaging. So we'll jump right into kind of the synopsis of the movie. It starts off on a yacht in Florida where Ellen Andrews, who goes by Ellie, played by, of course, Claudette Colbert, she's refusing to eat, being very dramatic. It's revealed that she has been married to a man named King Westley, who's someone her father really disapproves of, and she is acting out about it, and she wants to go be with him. So she straight up jumps off of the yacht and just starts swimming.
I loved that she did that.
It got going fast. I was like, bang, 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 cut to one scene, cut to another, cut to the next.
I love how the story just starts.
Yes.
And you really get to like kind of experience the characters. There's not a lot of exposition, which I think works super well for what it is going for.
That's such a great point.
Because really, like, she jumps off the boat, she swims, next thing, she's at a bus station, a Greyhound bus station, which is a very different thing than it is in the year of 2026.
Oh, God.
You wear your nice clothes to this Greyhound station.
Everyone's in suits. I mean, everyone was always in suits and dresses. Ellie Andrews shows up at this bus station. She's undercover in a way that you could be in 1934, even being famous. Like, no one really knows your face necessarily.
Yeah.
There are headlines that she is an heiress. She's run away. She is away from her father. He's looking for her. But she's kind of trying to keep things under wrap as she gets on a bus going from Florida all the way up to New York to see her fiance. At the same time, we're introduced to Clark Gable's Peter Warne. He is in a phone booth surrounded by a bunch of other, I assume, reporters. He's telling off his boss in a very funny scene. I think it introduces him very well. He's like incredibly drunk in this, and he's telling us like, you guy. I forget exactly what he says, but he's taking him to task. And it's funny because the newspaper editor is not having any of it and hangs up on him. But Peter Warne keeps going. Is like, That's what I thought. And then he goes
Sit
out
on it and rotate, buddy.
and he goes out of the phone booth and he's like high-fiving all the others. They're like, my king, my king.
Yeah.
It's a great character introduction. That's really all we get from their characters at the first, and everything else is so much revealed from their interactions with each other, which I think is...
He was a boy, she was a girl.
Yeah, that's all you need.
It's really all you need.
Yeah.
Agreed.
They both end up on the long bus, sitting with each other. Kind of the close proximity thing that you mentioned, Sarah, is like there were only 2 spots in the back of the bus, so they have to sit next to each other.
I have a favorite quote from this part.
Okay.
When the bus starts and she stumbles down the aisle and falls into Peter's lap and he goes, "Next time you drop in, bring your folks." I love that line. I thought
A lot of good one-liners. A lot of good
one-liners.
witty lines in this movie.
Yeah.
It's all very clever. They're very tense at the beginning with each other. They clearly just don't like each other in that way that like rom-coms do, where it's all kind of, it's kind of fun. They start out as enemies. But what I like about this movie is despite their interactions where they're getting on each other's nerves or having conflicts, they're always still very intrigued by each other.
Yes.
And I think it feels very believable that both of them would be interested in like continuing to hang out with them, even if they found the other one like exasperating a lot of the time.
Because why would we care if they weren't,
Yeah, for sure. And that is highlighted by, as they continue on their trip, they have a stop. Ellie gets her bag stolen. Just some guy literally just creeps up behind her and steals it. A lot of the choices in this movie, I think, do a great job of driving the story forward, which is why it's such a great screenplay, I would say. So Ellie gets her bag stolen. Peter goes to her and he tries to help her, and she totally plays him off. He's like, "I'm just really trying to help you because you got your bag stolen." And that introduces the dynamic between the two of them, which I found very fascinating throughout this whole movie. He's obviously a lot more lower class. He doesn't have a lot of money to his name. He's from more humble background, where she is obviously an heiress. Her father is this incredibly wealthy stockbroker in New York. The way they think about money, the way they think about belongings, the way they think about like the way each of them was raised, the preconceived notions they have, they come into play a lot throughout this movie.
We'll put it this way. He eats carrots and she can't stand the sight of them.
Let's see. So at that same stopover, again, this highlights like kind of her more spoiled heiress dynamic. She tells the bus to wait. She's like,
"Oh
okay.
no, the bus will wait. The bus will wait.
The bus will wait.
The bus driver will wait for me."
She goes in, she like eats a nice meal, goes to the bathroom, and then she comes out and the bus is gone. It's like, why didn't the bus wait for me?
Girl.
But of course, who's there but Peter Warne?
Warne.
He found her ticket sitting in the seat, saw that she was Ellie Andrews, the runaway heiress.
Yeah.
Which again, no one really knew. But he kind of uses that to parlay being her travel companion, saying, "I will rat you out. I will tell your dad where you are. I'll telegram him right now unless you give me the exclusive rights to your story." And he's just trying to like, at this point, write a good story so he can get in good graces with his newspaper editor, or at the very least, make a quick buck by selling the exclusive rights of Ellie Andrews' cross-country trip to get to her fiance. They get on the next bus. They decide to be travel partners. He starts off a essentially main storyline where he pretends to be her husband because she is being accosted by this man. What was his name? Swimpley?
Mr. Shapley.
Shapley. Mr. Shapley.
Mr. Shapley, which quote from him that I love.
If you say the same one that I have written down.
"When a cold mama gets hot, boy, how she sizzles."
I wrote that one as well.
There's nothing I like better than to meet a high-class mama who can snap back at you.
I mean, to that I say, amen, Mr. Shapley.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Speak your truth,
Yeah.
Mr. Shapley. But also,
Also don't.
Don't.
Yeah,
But also
Mr.
don't.
Shapley. You gotta. We respect women in this podcast, Mr. Shapley.
Sure.
He was respectful, just really letting it all out. Just
He's a man who knew what he
on the
wanted.
floor. Yeah.
He was a very funny character. I will say, like, as dynamic and compelling as the two main characters are, there are some very fun, very minor characters throughout this that help build the tapestry of the whole story. The next is an overnight stop due to a bridge being out. There's a big rainstorm, so everyone has to stop, get off the bus. They have to go to like a motorcade, essentially motel for the night. This is one of my favorite scenes. So I have seen it happen one night before. It was a long time ago. So there are two main things that I remembered about this movie. One, that her dad was very wholesome. And two, the scene that happened in the hotel was incredibly funny. Like, that was a very memorable scene. I couldn't remember the exact specifics because, it had been a while. But I remembered, like, the setting of the hotel. And I was like, oh, something very fun happens here. And I was correct. There is a great scene where the search is advanced for Ellie. So detectives, kind of hot on her trail, are at this motor hotel. They're going into a bunch of different rooms, accosting people, trying to find her. In order to get them off their scent, Peter and Ellie pretend to be husband and wife, but they expand on that even further by having a very loud fake fight.
Loved this part.
And essentially,
they're just so good.
They're just like role playing their way out of it. They're like a couple fighting about visiting her aunt who's pregnant, and it's all very
She's a plumber's
elaborate.
daughter.
Yeah.
Which she already said that right before that in the conversation, she was like, "I would much rather be a plumber's daughter." And Peter listened.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
he
and
incorporated that into the argument. He yes-anded her.
Oh, boy.
And the chemistry was unmatched.
It was so good. I love that scene. I was laughing so hard because it was so funny. It was so well written, and it was so entertaining. It served the story so well. Oh, and it was just great. And it's like, we're looking for an heiress. It's like, well, it's too bad you're not looking for a plumber's daughter. Which is just, again, it's so quick and clever. I really love that scene. It's just so funny.
This is also where we establish the motif of the walls of Jericho too.
Oh,
between them, where it's like they're sharing a hotel room, and even though he is saying, "Oh, we're a married couple," so that they can share the room, he's at least being respectful and like hangs a little cord and then a blanket between them, so it's like a little modesty curtain or whatever.
The walls of Jericho is a reference to, I assume you can tell us, Drew.
Well, the Bible. Yeah, but he calls it the walls of Jericho because they won't come tumbling down or whatever unless you play the trumpet, which we'll get to later. But like, it's basically just like, hey, this is our fun little thing. I'm not gonna be creeping on you. I'm gonna respect you.
You could rename this movie 10 Days of Foreplay, and it's essentially the same thing. Which I would say that it's like the whole thing, they're just like playing games with each other the whole time, which is why it's so like fun.
Yeah, not like toxic games. It's fun, clever games.
What's your kink? Old Testament play.
I will say, as someone who wears pajama sets, the pajamas in this movie were awesome.
Oh my gosh, his robe.
I wanted.
He wore it every time.
I wanted.
And I'm supposed to believe this dude is low class.
He's fitted like that every single day. You're like, there's no way you're poor.
He's wearing like a 5-timers jacket from SNL.
We need a little suspension of disbelief, give people a little bit of luxury. So as they get on the bus the second time, again, as I mentioned, the search for Ellie has advanced in a way. They've now started putting her picture in newspapers, so it's a lot easier to find her. Our man Shapley, who we've talked about, sees a picture of her, so he kind of now knows who she is. There is this scene's a little odd in the context where they're having a sing-along in the bus.
Oh my God.
Well, it's actually not odd in context. It works really well.
They needed an extra 5 minutes.
They really did need an extra 5 minutes. I was like, wow, this is like going on really long. But I guess that's what you would do on what I assume is like a multi-day.
99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles. Yeah. It's just that. Yeah.
Which I would be so mad if that were happening to me. But also in the 30s, like, you had zero entertainment. That was probably fun because you had nothing else.
Oh yeah.
They could just let Shapley talk too.
That'd be
equally entertaining.
Well, yeah, it's like you could just probably hear everyone's conversations the whole bus ride too. But because of the singing, again, I was watching this like, this is kind of going on so long. But because of the singing, the bus driver joins in and then he gets distracted and crashes the bus into some sort of swamp and can't get the bus out of there.
I'm writing this screenplay and I just need some way for the bus to stop again. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
But I actually like it because it does, again, like it serves the purpose and it makes sense for the story. It
Does it?
I think so. It's convenient, but
I loved it.
I think it's clever. It's
a little convoluted.
That's maybe a little convoluted.
Just say you got a flat tire, okay?
Yeah, but this is.
I like that he crashed into a swamp.
I know. I'm just razzing.
Yeah. In this scene where they get off the bus, Shapley gets off the bus again. He now knows who Ellie Andrews is. He approaches Peter, and he tells him, "Hey, man, I'm a good guy, so I'll split the reward," which is publicly $10,000 at this point, which is $250,000 in today's money. So
I'm worth more than that. If I was gone and that was the reward, I'd be pissed.
you'd be offended.
I'd be offended.
Reward priceless.
Priceless. Nothing. Not $1.
But Shapley says, I'll split that $10,000 50-50 because, you know, I'm a good guy. I believe in good karma. And I could just go sell her out on my own and get the whole thing. But I want to do right by you. And to this, I think this is a great scene. Great little monologue from Clark Gable here. He essentially pretends to be a gangster. He's saying, well, what do you think is going on? I kidnapped her.
He's so smart,
He's so
Peter.
Yeah, he's like, I kidnapped her and like the reward's gonna be way more than $10,000. Like, how are your Tommy gun skills? I'll let you in on it if you get to New York.
I was sitting there going like, I would have never thought of that. How did you think of that? That's crazy. And then I remembered it was a movie. But
yeah, and then he threatens Shapley's children by saying the last person that ratted me out.
You got a daughter.
Yeah. It's like the last person who double-crossed me. It's like when he heard what happened to his kid, he like threw up. And I was like, oh, it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
But again, he played well into his gangster trope. And Shapley like takes it hook, line, and sinker. And he just starts like running away.
That was fun. He just like runs into the dark.
He just runs into the woods.
Like, where is he going?
I mean, if you thought like this guy was a 30s era gangster, you might run away from it too. It's like, I'll take, I'll get on the next bus.
Yeah.
At this time, though, too bad for Shapley because Peter and Ellie are like, well, we got to get off this bus. Again, it's just too much of a liability knowing that her picture is so out there, especially they're probably stopping at places with more newspapers. It would be a lot more public for her to potentially be seen. So they really set off on their own now. It's starting to get a little bit dicey. They have a stop for the night. They bed down in a farm field. Ellie's whining about being hungry. He is doing his best to provide for her. He's making her a bed of hay. She's like, I don't want to sleep in the hay. I was like, you don't have much option there. And he's like getting visibly annoyed with her. And he leaves, and you think like he leaves because he's mad. And then she starts crashing out that he's gone because she's kind of, a little dependent about, like, she's like complaining about he's hungry. She's like, I don't want to see you. And then he leaves. She's like, where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Oh, wait. This moment is when I realized, I was like, the name Peter is just objectively not a sexy name. Because no, that's literally what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, she's going, Peter, Peter, Peter. I'm thinking of Lois Griffin the entire time.
Brain rot.
Actually.
But he does come back, and he brings a gift of carrots. There's a very iconic thing associated with Clark Gable's character specifically in It Happens One Night, and the way he eats carrots actually even inspired a character that we all know.
Is it Bugs Bunny?
It's Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Oh wait, fuck, really?
No, literally.
That's literally, I literally have it written down. Down as Bugs Bunny from the recast.
Yeah. No, like Clark Gable's character in It Happened One Night unironically inspired the character of Bugs Bunny.
It makes a lot of sense.
Like his mannerisms, the carrots. the way he talks.
Yeah.
It's very, very... And again, like, you kind of got to that point organically.
Yeah.
Which is so fun, but you really do see it in the movie. I think it's more
100%.
highlighted in the hitchhiking scene that comes next. So the last bit for the hay scene is important is that they, rom-com trope, almost kiss for the first time. Kind of the first, like, faces get close, turn away at the last second. Something that we are so attuned to and used to, but fun seeing it in this way.
The way she was laying down, I'm like, she wants him.
She was giving him like
she was giving him the
haystack eyes.
The haystack eyes
sure.
for sure.
No, I definitely noticed that. The scene after this is another one that's very iconic for It Happened One Night. It's a hitchhiking scene. They are, again, trying to get from, I assume at this point they're probably in the Carolinas or something, going on their way up to New York. They have no bus, so their way of getting around is now to hitchhike. Peter tries to teach Ellie how to hitchhike, which is a very funny scene, where he's showing her how to, like, waggle her thumb in the right way. It's like, this one gets him every time.
This was the most Bugs Bunny.
Totally.
Like, yeah.
It's a great scene. It's very, very funny. And it's punctuated by the fact that he's ultimately very unsuccessful in trying to get a car to stop for them. And of course, at this point, it's kind of a trope, but it's very funny in the movie. She does one little thing. She walks up to the side of the road, lifts her skirt to show her stocking, and a car just screeches to a halt. You see like a close-up of a guy slamming on the brakes.
Yeah. It's so funny because movies nowadays you just flash her tits.
I'd go for the leg. I don't need to be too egregious.
I'm saying like in the movie.
I don't know. I would be less likely to pick something.
I'm saying in movies. I'm not saying real life.
Okay.
I'm saying in the movies. I feel like I've seen mostly that versus a lake.
So funny thing with this scene, Claudette Colbert was being a little difficult on set, and they threatened to have like a chorus girl do the leg.
No, because her leg's iconic.
Yeah,
apparently.
and then I'm sure it was iconic because of this scene. But she was like, no, it must be my leg. Which ultimately...
Good move on the producers.
Yeah.
Good move.
Good career decision for her.
That's how you get them back on set.
Yeah.
You say, we'll replace you.
So, such a funny scene. There's an intermediate scene with Ellie's dad and King Wesley. We kind of see King Wesley, who's the aviator that she eloped with. So the dad says, in talking with King Wesley, he tells him that he will not interfere with their relationship. And that was kind of the catalyst of her jumping off the yacht, going on this journey, that he will not interfere with their relationship if she just comes back. Because at this point, he is really, really worried about her in a very genuine type of way. He just wants his daughter to come home. He doesn't care now. Like, he'd rather her be safe and with this guy that he doesn't really care for than out on the road where he doesn't know where she is. So essentially they, publish more and say like, hey, we're going to call off the search. Our main priority is really just getting her to come home. So next there's also kind of an addendum to the scene of them getting picked up by they are hitchhikers getting picked up by the man in the car. He steals their stuff. Like, they go to a rest stop and then he just drives off with their things. And then somehow Peter runs after the car and he like beats up the other guy, steals the car, which is, I thought this was a bit odd because it is like a true act of villainy. I mean, the guy did, I guess, steal his bags, but he also then
tied him up to a tree.
Yeah. And he's like bleeding. Like they like really got into a tussle and he literally steals his car.
Valid.
I mean,
It's kind of a roundabout way to like they could have just hopped in the car while he was in the bathroom and drove it away. But
Totally.
Like, no.
Well, I think they probably had to make that guy a villain,
I guess,
so that we were more okay with him getting
guess.
beaten up and having his car stolen.
I would have been okay with it if he was an awesome, nice guy.
So after our heroes commit grand theft auto and aggravated battery and assault.
That is actually the only place where I've ever seen someone run up to a car and steal it and beat someone up, is in Grand Theft Auto 5. Because that's the only time I've realistically seen someone do that.
Peter Warne, you would have loved Vice City.
Yeah. Let's just get out of the car. Hey!
But they end up, Peter and Ellie, they end up at a hotel. This one about 3 hours outside of New York. Peter's saying, we have no money. We should just go to New York. It's only 3 hours. And Ellie says, well, we can't get to New York that late. No one will be up. We should just stay in this hotel for the night.
Smooth.
Yeah. Where, in this scene, they sort of confess their love for each other. Yeah, so she's gotten cold feet over this congratulatory thing. She's been on this whole journey just simply out of stubbornness. But here she realizes that she has come to really love Peter. And I really like she's asking, you'd be a great partner. What would you do essentially with a partner? He says, well, I saw like this island in the South Pacific and I would like to go there. It was a really nice monologue. It was
so nice.
Yeah, and it was like it was written very like loftily. I really liked the prose. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Grounded, and I hate it when like people say, "Oh, it's a grounded performance," but it was.
Yeah. But after he has his monologue, he actually looks over the walls of Jericho, which are still up, of course. Whenever they're in a hotel, they have the walls of Jericho.
The blanket.
Yes. But he sees that she's asleep. And because she goes to confess her love to him, and he kind of pushes her away. I think he's a little scared. I think it's in part one, like, is this real? Or is she just kind of having like a weird mental thing just because she's so close? And I don't know if I can trust this. I don't know if I can trust myself fully. So he pushes her off. She falls asleep. And then he kind of realizes that he messed up. And then he goes to her to be like, oh, well, I do love you. But then she's asleep by then. But he gets a really ridiculous idea in his head. Yeah. And this sets off kind of the most rom-com-y, misunderstood chain of events that is possible. I would argue it's a little convoluted, but it's still kind of fun. He leaves this motel, drives all the way to New York to go talk to the newspaper man who fired him, and said, all I want is $1,000. I'm going to write a story about how Ellie Andrews is no longer going to be with her fiance. She's going to be with me. He's like, what if I told you a story about this heiress leaving her fiance for some guy? And he's like, well, that's, worth $1,000. So he pays him in advance. And he then goes to drive back to the hotel because now he has money to officially propose to her, which I think he was feeling self-conscious about. Kind of being like a broke boy trying to propose. This sets off a chain of events where when they checked into the hotel, because they had no money, he told the owners that they would be staying there for a week and would pay at the end. The hotel owners were like, that's sketchy. And they realized that he took the car in the middle of the night. And they're like, oh, he ran off. He's no good. But they go in the room and she's still in there. So they kick her out because she's got no money to pay for this room. And then, of course, she has zero context for why he's just randomly gone. So she, I would say, quite logically, rightfully for sure, she goes to the nearest telegram station or whatever, contacts her dad and says, hey, come pick me up, please. And so he does, as both Peter and her dad with King Wesley are all like driving back to the hotel at the same time. One of them is in a slightly faster motorcade than Peter's bum car that he stole from this man.
We get this like one battle after another style car chase happening.
It's kind
like,
of a...
Which way did they go? That way, that way. Well, now they're going around.
I know, it's kind of like a slapsticky almost, like,
Totally.
kind of makes it more screwball. The whole thing has a lot of screwball DNA for sure, but that is like one piece of it. Then there's kind of the falling action of the whole movie where it's the classic rom-com. She's gonna marry him. She's on her wedding day. And then there's, again, more of a like mistaken intentions throughout all of this. Peter shows up. Well, actually, first, she has a really sweet like conversation with her father, who is like, you don't need to go through with this.
Such a cute scene.
She's like, he is mostly, I think it's in part, he's like, I hate this man, this King Wesley. He's like, I really hate him. I don't want you to marry him. If you marry him, I will be okay with it, but I don't want you to marry him. Like, I want you to be with someone who you really love. And, you know, he can tell that she maybe met someone because she's given off those vibes. And she tells him, yes, but I also hate him.
Classic.
So classic. She says his name, and her dad takes out like a telegram that he received from Peter Warne, essentially asking him about money, given zero context. So Ellie assumes it's for the $10,000 reward, that he was only contacting to receive that full reward, thinking that this whole thing that they did was all about just the money. So cut out of that. Then Peter shows up to talk to the dad. That's a great scene as well, where he reveals the only thing he wants is $39.60, which is the money that he spent on things like clothes and gas and things that he sold to pay for like the hotel rooms. So really showing for him, it wasn't about the money. It was more just about, you know, the honor of it. The principle. Yeah, because he's not a rich man, but he has honor. But it's a good scene, and I really like the end of it where the dad's asking, do you love her? He's like, I hate her. I couldn't. Anyone who wants to spend their life with her is a very sick man. Yeah. Do you love her? I couldn't stand a day under a roof with her. Do you love her? And then he's like, yes, I do, and that's on me.
Yeah.
Which is it's a great.
It's so great.
Yeah.
It made me I felt like a little girl again. I was like,
But then he runs out of the room after having that conversation, sees Ellie on her wedding day. They have a stare off.
They really do.
He leaves. Then it cuts to like their actual wedding day. King Wesley shows up in a gyrocopter.
Oh my god.
Which is like
that's the least sexy thing you could have shown up.
I mean, King Wesley is basically played off as like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Just like that kind of insane personality, like the kind of person who would show up in a gyrocopter, which for those who don't know what a gyrocopter is, it's just
Grimes, what if I had a blowtorch at my wedding?
It would be like Elon, like parachuting out of Blue Origin to, to come to his wedding with his 13 children in tow. But as they're doing the procession, Ellie's dad sort of reveals the conversation that he had with Peter. It wasn't about the money. It was just about $39, just about getting even on the principle of it. So he essentially says like, hey, the car's over there. You can.
The car's in the back.
The car's in the back.
Change your mind if you're ready to go. If you want to run away, I have a car for you.
Yeah. So it's funny. One of my friends has a letterbox tag that he uses that's like bad parenting, which I think is great. And I love that tag. But this is like one I would say is good parenting.
Such good parenting from
yeah,
dad.
and you know, and it is implied. I was gonna say it's kind of implied that he's a single father, which makes it a little more sweet in a way.
Yeah.
This very quick resolution to this. She does run away from the wedding, of course. There's a scene with the dad. He's taking phone calls. He gets one from King Wesley saying, hey, man, I'll pay you whatever you want to annul the wedding. I really don't care. Like, here, I'm wiring you the money right now. Like, money is clearly no issue. And then he is able to telegram the couple who is on honeymoon of a sort to let them know that the marriage has officially been annulled. And it is punctuated by the walls of Jericho falling down, which literally is just implying that they are now having sex, and that is how the movie ends immediately.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them.
The two little people outside the inn are like, they asked for a cord and a blanket? Yeah. And a little toy trumpet, too. Lord knows what they're getting up to.
Again, this is just like 10
so
days of
well-written.
foreplay.
Yeah. I loved it.
That's the movie.
That's the movie.
That's it. But now do we want to learn about the Oscars?
Yeah.
So, major milestone was set at the 7th Oscars. It Happened One Night was the first time a movie won the Big Five Oscars. That is picture, director, writing, and lead for both actor and actress.
Wow.
So far in history, there have been 43 Big Five nominees. The first one ever was actually Cimarron 3 years earlier.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Our boy Yancey lost Best Actor, though. Do you have anything to say about that?
Oh. We walked away with nothing, Josh. Nothing. Not a single award. It's all my fault. I should have kept my mouth shut. I shouldn't have spoken on the ballet and the opera.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so sadly, Cimarron only won Best Picture. But It Happened One Night was the first to truly sweep these Big Five. So that is a feat that would only be matched 2 times more. So, Capra won director, Riskin won writing, Gable won actor, and Colbert won actress. But it was not without drama. A major write-in campaign was mounted this year due to outrage that neither Bette Davis nor Myrna Loy were on the Best Actress nominee list. So due to the massive amounts of phone calls, telegrams, and newspaper editorials on the subject, the Academy basically said, I don't care, write in who you want.
That's funny.
Adding a level of intrigue to this year's winners.
They should still do that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how it...
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah. Like, you got it wrong. We're all going to write in someone else.
They announce all 5 nominees, and then they open the winner and they've got the cameras on all of them, and it's none of them.
Yeah. That would be crazy. Another kind of element to this, Colbert, maybe due to the media furor, maybe something else, she did not think she had a chance at winning. So she did not even show up. She was about to be on a train bound to New York when they found out she won. So they had to go get her.
They had to chase her.
They chased her down, got her off the train. The train did wait for her. She went, received the award, got back on the train.
Wow.
And then went off to New York. So
wait, don't get on that train.
Yeah.
That's so romantic.
Yeah. So outside of that, in this Academy Awards, 3 new Oscars were introduced. They were for film editing and music, both score and song. There were also 12 nominees for Outstanding Production this year, which is frankly sickening. As I mentioned, Claudette Colbert starred in 3 of them, which is a crazy stat. Those were, in addition to It Happened One Night, biographical drama Cleopatra, and the family drama Imitation of Life. That one was a very interesting take on race at the time. It was her character opening a business with her black housekeeper and the housekeeper's white passing daughter, something that factored very heavily into the plot. And this was also truly the year of the rom-com, as there were 3 more nominees in this space, though the others were all musicals.
Ugh.
Flirtation Walk and One Night of Love, they have more or less been forgotten.
Good.
But The Gay Divorcee stood out as being one of the most notable early on-screen pairings of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Yeah. It was also the first ever Best Song Oscar winner for the song The Continental, which I listened to it on YouTube. It was kind of fun. It was cute.
Put it on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm sure it might be. There were also a few biographical dramas this year in addition to the aforementioned Cleopatra. They were The Barretts of Wimpole Street, about poet Robert Browning. Viva Villa, about Mexican revolutionary Pancho Villa, and The House of Rothschild, about the Rothschild. as you can guess, about the Rothschild family, which,
Jay Electronica's favorite movie.
do not let the conspiracy theorists watch this one, I assume. So, rounding out the list of Best Picture nominees were 3 others. There was War Romance, Here Comes the Navy, The White Parade, a medical drama about nurses in training that laid the groundwork for many medical procedurals to come, and most notably, The Thin Man, a well-received detective movie that was so successful it spawned 5 sequels. This is basically the Knives Out of the time.
Oh.
So the last interesting tidbit for this Oscars is that at this ceremony, Shirley Temple received an honorary Oscar this year.
Animal crackers in my soup, monkeys and rabbits, loop de loop.
That was my nickname when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, because I had blonde curls.
So this year, at 6 years old, she was in 9 features in 1934.
Crazy.
Which I'm going to take a stance. I'm going to say this is not a heartwarming fact. This is a disturbing one.
Yeah.
Like, that is messed up that a
is kinda
6-year-old
crazy.
is starring in 9 movies in 1934.
Talking about Shirley Temple?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, imagine.
She has
Like,
that
you
sort.
like don't you just are owned by the studio.
Was that pre? What was it when they had like
Child labor laws?
Kugler account? Is that what it?
I don't know, man.
I'm talking real inside baseball here.
Yeah. But that is all that happened
One night.
in the Oscars.
Oh.
It was one night. That one night being the 7th Oscars.
Exactly.
So, would we say that this is a deserved win? I watched 2 of the other nominees. I watched The Gay Divorcee and The Thin Man, both of which I was mostly underwhelmed by. People love The Thin Man. I wasn't that entranced with it, to be honest. Gay Divorcee was fun. It's more of a very traditional musical. And, like, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers are great together. They have a lot of fun. I want to watch more of their movies, but...
Never heard of them.
But all in all, It Happened One Night is very much the deserving winner. I would go so far as to say it is the movie most that we have seen so far that I would say feels like a very deserving winner because it was so entertaining. Whereas so many of the other ones coming before this had this level of importance that you could say like they were chosen for not necessarily political reasons, but
Technical, too.
there were technical things. Like this is one where it's all about the acting, it's all about the dialogue, it's all about the writing. And the directing is still very good to go along with it. So
I will say this is probably the most rewatchable movie that we've seen.
I would 100% agree.
I mean, you've actually seen it more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say, for me, 100% deserved win.
I mean, yeah, I haven't seen the other movies, but I don't need to. I love this
believe it.
movie.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it deserved it. I think it's fun, too, that it's a little, kind of like what we were getting at, where it's like a little stray from the usual genres that win these sorts of
Totally.
things. I always appreciate when that happens.
I know. I mean, I remember when I said earlier in the podcast that a romantic comedy won Best Picture. Sarah, you were so taken aback. Like you did. I don't think you believed me.
No.
We'll see a lot more romance, I think. Less than the Time of the Hays Code. But for the brain rot this week, I wanted to bring back just a very standard recast. We did it for Wings. We haven't done a big recast in a while, but I think this one lends itself super well to the idea of thinking about if we could recast this today, how would we do it?
I'm going to start with a couple serious ones. Elle Fanning and Dylan O'Brien.
Okay.
If you want like a younger, modern sort of thing here.
So I will say one thing I was kind of surprised by, both Claudette Colbert and Clark Gable were 31 in this movie.
What?
Yeah, they don't look
They
it.
look like they're 45.
Yeah,
No,
they don't look
literally,
it at all.
I mean, everyone was smoking. I mean, like, Clark Gable was smoking in bed every single scene he was laying in bed. And I was like, that's insane. But yeah, they did not age well. But also I was like, I'm 31. A part of me was like, I don't look like this, right?
You don't look like Claudette.
But yeah, I think you want like a younger sort of cast. So I think that...
Yeah. If you want to go older, I have
Okay.
Pierce Brosnan and Halle Berry. That's just James Bond. James Bond.
That would not work with the dynamics of the movie at all.
I think it would work. I think it would work.
Okay.
I think I saw a little bit of both of them in either of them. I don't know
Okay.
why that one came to mind. Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway.
Getting older.
It's just Bonnie and Clyde. I just saw them in a car and I was like, yeah, like Bonnie and Clyde.
And the next is Methuselah.
No,
and
it gets okay. For the fans of 2000's tabloid fare, Wilmer Valderrama and Lindsay Lohan.
I don't know what any of these references are.
You know Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
I know who that
you know
is.
Fez from That 70s Show? Mm-hmm. He famously dated Lindsay Lohan when she was pretty young.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was like they were a bit of a like 2000s item.
You know who I want to see in a rom-com is Gaten Matarazzo
Oh yeah.
from Stranger Things.
From Pizza Movie?
Pizza movie?
Sure.
Pizza movie out now?
I'm good, bro.
I feel like he would honestly be really charming.
You think so?
I could see it work.
I think he could be.
I think my problem with thinking of recast is the Clark Gable archetype is something that's so hard, and I don't know if it really exists anymore for like men.
This is my actual serious one.
Okay.
My actual serious. Wait, no, first I want to share one more.
Okay.
Noah Centineo and Tilly Norwood.
We have an AI and someone who may as well be AI.
Yeah, exactly. Who may as well be. Yeah. That was a joke. My actual serious one. It's a bit of a dark horse one.
Okay.
Keira Knightley
Okay.
and ASAP Rocky.
Okay. I kind of
He's
see
dipping
the
into
vision.
the
I feel
acting.
like their time has passed.
I agree.
ASAP
with
Rocky is
you.
literally just getting into acting right now.
Yeah, but it's just
And he can hit that
He already did a movie a while ago, though. What was that movie that he was in?
He's done a few movies.
He's been
He
in
did
a bunch
few movies
this year,
year.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of they're very like 2014 to me. Like they feel very 2014.
Okay, well, initially it was
I
ASAP
think-
Rocky and Sky Ferreira, but then I wanted to go full 2014.
They're
but I
not.
decided to do.
They didn't leave the yacht. They left the
But
Kia Asylum.
I think that's why I changed it to Keira Knightley. Because it was like, okay, no one else is. Yeah, it was just like this is a real wild card.
That's a very younger millennial answer.
I see.
Thanks.
I think ASAP Rocky is a very interesting choice.
I think because I actually thought Drake at one point. There was a weird moment where Drake came to mind, and I was like, no. There's something about like A$AP Rocky is the like tall, dark, and handsome, like kind of menacing, but like very like genuinely sexy, and like I think he could fit that archetype if he's given that opportunity. Like, he's the closest thing we got to that sort of archetype now.
Yeah, I don't. I like A$AP Rocky a lot. I don't think you gotta have chops to do this.
Oh no! I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to be good.
Yeah.
That's why I think Gaten Matarazzo is a dark horse pick. Because you have to take someone who you wouldn't think like today is conventionally like today's masculinity or whatever you think is like hot today, but you put them and you give them the dialogue that's written like it is in this movie, and you see like their charm and that kind of side come out to them. I think he could do it.
Interesting.
I think it would be really fun, and I think people would weirdly start crushing on him.
I mean, let's see
casting
how Pizza
Oscar.
Movie does.
Give me the casting Oscar right now.
Sound off in the comments on which of these you prefer.
Hey, I haven't even said mine yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have one that I like. But first, before then, we have been disrespecting a certain person in this podcast over the last few episodes. We have not mentioned Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh. I was trying to squeeze her into this list.
I think, well, because like for me, I actually don't know if she would work in this role necessarily, but like the eyebrows made me think of her.
Totally. I don't think she could do. She doesn't have that.
Yeah,
no.
I kind of feel the same way. Anya Taylor-Joy, still please be on our podcast.
I love her so much.
I know we're
just going in a different direction.
Yeah. But my real take is for Claudia Colbert, Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
And for Peter Warne, Stephen Yeun, which is a little bit...
Stephen Yeun a little.
Yeah. It's a little bit older.
Okay, yeah.
But I think he would do a good job of kind of like that. I think he can be suave, but I think he could also do annoyed really well.
Yeah.
So that's...
It's got legs.
Yeah.
I don't hate that choice.
I think, my biggest thing is like there's a bit of an age gap, which I think like this one works because they do feel like they're in the same stage of life, and I think it loses a bit of but like Minari era Stephen Yeun.
Yeah.
I think that is like my vision. So let's put Stephen Yeun in a time machine, send him back to 2017, and then he can be in this movie.
But I'm also still pretty high on Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Every character except Claudette and the king,
And A$AP Rocky.
and the husband, King, whatever.
Oh, King. Oh, okay.
He's the only other human because the real schmuck has got to be a human.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that makes sense.
And everyone else is a Looney Tunes.
It's like
character.
the main heroine and the villain are humans.
Yes.
Everyone else are Looney Tunes.
Everyone else is Looney Tunes.
I mean, canonically, that could work.
Elmer Fudd is a dad. Porky Pig is the guy who steals the car and won't
That's
stop
good.
There's a
Shapley
little...
is like Pepe Le Pew.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Wait. Hold on. I need to read the line now. There is nothing like better than to meet a high-class mama who can snap back at you.
Okay.
We've unleashed a new character.
Oh my god, no.
Pepe Le Shapley.
Pepe Le Shapley Supreme.
Yeah. All right. So that was great.
So that was great.
That was great. Thank you for your contributions.
Yeah.
I want to hear her hot take.
Okay.
I do think that rom-coms cease to exist or cannot exist in the same world where modern therapy language has become so overused and so commercialized. It has completely replaced vulnerability and also just fun in movies. Like words like gaslight, boundaries, narcissism, all of that.
Gaslight was created in 1940s.
Well, no. I'm just saying, like, nowadays, because of social media, these words are so overused that, like, every rom-com I've seen, everybody's a narcissist gaslighter with no boundaries.
It's like, oh, this is bad because it's toxic.
Yeah, like, like, an internet therapist would have pegged Ellie as having, like, an anxious attachment style, I don't know, impulsivity issues, like, validation-seeking, fear of abandonment, no sense of boundaries, possible manic romantic ideation.
I would love to see like the takes if just something like that existed when this movie came out and won Best Picture.
That's what I'm thinking.
Why, like the why It Happened One Night didn't deserve to win Best Picture.
Yeah, because Peter Warne has an avoidant attachment style and is a narcissist and a control freak and has mommy issues probably. I don't know. I'm sure someone would say that. But it's just like, you cannot have emotional caution in films like this, where I feel like a lot of modern day rom-coms, they use those words where I'm like, I'm choosing myself. And it's like, okay, in real life, sure, whatever. But like in a movie, it's just like fucking tomato, because it's so boring. Like you can't have caution in anything that is romance or comedy. You completely kill it. You have to be fearless and you can't be treading at all. You have to just go.
So what's the last like great rom-com in your mind?
I feel like I need to watch more of them to know.
Fair.
But for me,
that's fair.
I mean,
No, I think that's a good take though, because I do think at least the way rom-coms aren't even made that much. I think because there's too much overthinking about that sort of
there's too much fear around,
like even just in the creation of it.
Yeah,
there's too much fear around vulnerability and like romance in that way, and also like. Okay, people were saying Past Lives is a modern day rom-com, that is the most depressing, pessimistic take I have ever heard, because if that is a romantic comedy, I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole. And I love that movie.
It's a good movie, but that's a terrible take.
No, but it's like you have to feel like hopeful by the end of it, you know? Yeah.
Well, there's nothing really comedic about Past Lives. Like maybe some people make jokes at some point, but
I don't know why anybody was saying that. It was such a bad take. I was like, no.
It's a com in the sense that like The Bear is a comedy.
Yeah. Oh my god, that actually drives me up the wall.
Where it's like, oh, some of these people are anxious, therefore it's a comedy.
Yeah. But no, valid hot take.
That's a great hot take.
Yeah. Maybe we'll keep it in.
Okay.
But yes, lastly, would love to hear everyone's final ratings for It Happened One Night.
I'm going to give it 4.5 stars.
Okay, great. Taking your top spot of the Best Picture winners so far.
Absolutely, my top spot, 100%.
Sarah, I will be joining you. 4.5 stars.
Yes!
I gave it a 4 when I first watched it, but I am upping it to a 4.5 because I really love the dialogue.
It's so sharp.
I think it's not a 5. There are some things, as Drew said, a little convoluted, and I think the last 30 minutes suffers because the characters aren't really together. Mm-hmm. So we kind of miss out on like them getting together again at the end. I kind of wish we had like one more scene with them.
No.
But
are we being selfish?
Maybe, because I think like the Walls of Jericho thing, like you don't need dialogue around that. I think they say a lot with having that scene, so I'm sort of okay with it. But there's some things holding it back from being a 5 for sure. But I really did enjoy this.
Yay!
I gave it 4.
Nice,
but I liked it. It's probably the most rewatchable, so it could maybe sneak into the top. It's pretty tied with Wings for me.
But you had
or whatever.
You had All Quiet.
All Quiet, whatever. It's all up in the same stratosphere so far.
Yeah.
Nothing's really like cracked above that. But
that makes sense.
It was a lot of fun. Very rewatchable, and like probably the only one that I would go back to watch for fun and not just to be like, oh no, like you don't understand the technical aspects of this one.
Right. It's like, well, you gotta understand the context around this.
Like,
like this one is just
watch a movie
purely entertaining.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah.
I would argue that Wings also kind of establishes that, but we are about to enter into a new era, the Hays Code era. So the tenor of the movies that we are going to watch are going to change somewhat drastically. So excited to see where this new era leads us, for better or more likely for worse.
Yeah. Is this our Eras tour?
Yes. But join us next week as we take to the high seas with Mutiny on the Bounty, which is our first post-Hays Code winner, which is fittingly, I assume, a movie with 0 female characters.